In a remote village surrounded by mountains, there was a forest that no one dared to enter after sunset. Locals called it the Whispering Woods, because strange voices could be heard echoing from its depths. It was said that the forest was cursed, inhabited by restless spirits, who wandered in search of revenge. Despite the warnings, a group of 5 friends decided to explore it, believing the stories to be mere superstitions. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the group entered the forest, armed with flashlights and cameras. At first, everything seemed normal, just tall trees and the chirping of crickets. They laughed, teasing each other about the ghost stories. But soon, the laughter faded, the air grew heavy, and the temperature dropped unnaturally.
Then, they heard it, a faint whisper, "Leave." The sound seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. They froze, scanning their surroundings with trembling flashlights. One of them, Mia, nervously said, "It's just the wind." But deep down, she wasn't so sure. As they ventured further, the whispers grew louder. Shadows flickered in the corners of their vision, but when they turned, nothing was there. Suddenly, one of them, Jake, screamed. He pointed ahead, his face pale. In the distance, a woman in a tattered white dress stood motionless. Her long, black hair obscured her face. She was too still, unnaturally still. The group panicked and turned back, but the path they had taken was gone, swallowed by the dense forest. "Where's the trail?" shouted Sam, his voice trembling. "It was right here," said Mia, her eyes wide with fear. The whispers turned into eerie laughter, echoing through the trees. The group huddled together, their flashlights flickering. Then, the laughter stopped. Silence enveloped the forest, so thick it was deafening. Out of the silence came a low growl. From the darkness, glowing red eyes appeared, circling them. One by one, the flashlights died, plunging them into darkness. Panic took over, and they ran blindly. Branches scratched their faces, and unseen roots tripped them. The growling grew closer. Suddenly, they stumbled into a clearing. In the center stood an ancient tree with twisted roots, and human-like faces carved into its bark, each one frozen in an expression of terror. The woman in white appeared again, but this time, her face was visible. It was gaunt, her eyes hollow, and her mouth stretched into an unnatural smile. She raised a bony finger and pointed at them. "You shouldn't have come here," she said, her voice echoing unnaturally. One by one, the friends began to vanish. First Jake, then Sam, their screams swallowed by the darkness. Mia fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "Please, we're sorry," she begged. The woman tilted her head, as if considering her plea, before whispering, "Run." Mia didn't hesitate. She bolted through the forest, her heart pounding in her chest. Behind her, the laughter and whispers grew louder, chasing her. She didn't stop until she burst out of the forest and into the village. When she turned back, the forest was silent, its entrance shrouded in darkness. Mia was the only one who made it out, but she was never the same. Every night, she could still hear the whispers calling her back, and the faces of her friends, now part of the cursed tree, haunted her dreams. The villagers said she was lucky to have survived, but Mia knew the truth. The forest never lets go. It's only a matter of time before it comes for her again. And so, the whispers continued, waiting for their next victims.